Imagine a single narrow waterway that controls the fate of the global economy, and what happens when it suddenly snaps shut. This is the Strait of Hormuz, a tiny geographic funnel where a fifth of the world's oil and gas passes every year. For decades, military experts believed no nation would ever dare block it, fearing an instant, overwhelming global retaliation. But recent conflicts shattered that illusion, proving that cheap drones and naval mines could hold global energy markets hostage. With global superpowers unable to force the waterway open, the balance of geopolitical leverage shifted overnight toward Iran. Now the neighboring Gulf states are scrambling to redraw the map of global trade before the next crisis hits. Two regional powers, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, actually saw this vulnerability coming decades ago. Back in the 1980s, the Saudis built the massive East-West pipeline to pump oil directly to the Red Sea. Because most of it is buried deep underground, recent aerial attacks barely scratched it, keeping Saudi exports completely safe. The UAE built their own fallback route to Fujairah, but it only handled half of their usual oil shipments. To fix this, the Emirates are fast-tracking a twin pipeline by 2027 to completely bypass the dangerous strait. But while these giants have an escape hatch, their smaller neighbors are caught in a geographic trap. Nations like Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Iraq have no direct land route to bypass the narrow waterway. When the strait closed, Qatar's gas exports froze, triggering a massive domestic economic contraction. Iraq watched its vital oil revenues collapse, forcing them to desperately improvise alternative routes through neighboring lands. They created a pipeline on wheels, using thousands of trucks to haul oil across the desert into Syria. Meanwhile, a sleepy coastal port in the UAE suddenly transformed into a massive overland trucking hub for food. Daily truck traffic exploded from just 100 to over 7,000 to feed the isolated Gulf states. Yet you cannot easily move millions of barrels of crude oil across a vast desert using trucks alone. It would take an impossible fleet of 55,000 tankers running non-stop every second to match the strait. Real freedom requires permanent mega pipelines, but building them means navigating a minefield of bitter regional rivalries. Iraq is now pouring billions into expanding pipelines through Turkey and Jordan to reach safer Western ports. Even historic options like the old American-backed tap line are being re-examined after decades of conflict and neglect. The era of relying on a single, fragile waterway is over. The race to redefine global energy security has begun.